What's up, everyone? Welcome. We are live right now on the CannaBuzz community, and thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel. We have a bunch of great discussion going on for you today and a bunch of great interviews for you to come. Today, we're joined by Neptune from Neptune Seedbank. We're going to be talking all about what's up with him. We actually, it's his first time on the show, so we're super excited to connect with him and hear his story and all about that. But before we get too far into it, I've got a couple shout outs that I need to make. First off, shout out to the community members in our community, the CannaBuzz community. We're live streaming right now in the CannaBuzz. A couple friends are already joining us. So if you want to be a part of our live streams when we do these live interviews every Sunday, join our community. Go to CannaBuzz.app in your browser or search CannaBuzz in the App Store. And it's a really neat community. It's just kind of like Instagram or Facebook, but for weed. Plus, you can join our live streams and all that kind of stuff and be part of our weekly giveaways where we give away packs of seeds and hats and all sorts of stuff. So make sure to join us over there. Also, shout outs to our friends at Lost Coast Plant Therapy, huge supporters of the show. Make sure to go to lostcoastplanttherapy.com to help fight bud rot, botrytis, bugs, any of that kind of stuff. It's a great foliar spray. You don't have to worry about spraying before harvest. It's all good. So definitely check them out at Lost Coast Plant Therapy. And then lastly, we have to shout out our friend Tiki. He wasn't able to make it today, but nonetheless, he hooked us up with some cool deals. What's the latest going on over with Tiki, JR?
Well, we got all kinds of cool Tiki announcements. He must be caught out on the seven seas somewhere. But he has a promo that he's doing where he's doing the one pack per order, gets you seeds and some swag. And there's also some sticker packs available as well. But also, something we're announcing today, Tiki's going to be doing a drop for CannaBuzz for Halloween. So we're going to be having a Halloween promotion where we will have our own strain for CannaBuzz. And it's going to be Pablo's Reserve. So there's more to come about that. I'm really excited to make that announcement. And while we're at it, we might as well go ahead and introduce our guest, Mark, because Mark also has become a supporter and sponsor of the CannaBuzz family. And so we really appreciate that. And right now, Mark at Neptune Seedbank, he's got this really cool thing with Lit Farms going on where they're doing a Name the Strain contest. And I always think that's fun, because as a breeder, I'm sure going through the catalog of names in your mind and through your friends, that starts to tap out at some point, Yeah. So to be able to get some love and support from your community to help you come up with these awesome names, I think it's cool. So check out the Neptune Seedbank for the Lit Farms Name the Contest promo. And so I'm excited about that. And go ahead and introduce our guest today, Q.
Yeah. So, like I said, we were joined by Mark from Neptune Seedbank. You've heard of Neptune Seedbank, or you probably have. They've been around for ages. They have so many different great breeders and so much great selection. If you're looking for seeds, definitely look them up. We're going to be diving all into it. A very influential guy right here on the stage today. Thank you so much for joining us, Neptune.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
So we usually like to start off our interviews just to get to know you a little bit better. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey with cannabis? And we were just talking before the show started, we were saying, you guys were both talking about how, cannabis provides for your life. How did you get to that confluence point where you knew like this is the thing?
Dude, in college, my dad always grew weed my whole life, and then good weed. So I never knew what bad weed was. And then I was in college, and I remember like coming home late one night, and like these dudes were like outside smoking fucking weed, and it was dog shit. And being like, hey, what do you what do you guys pay for this? And they're like, oh, like $60 an eighth. I was like, what? And then a drug dealer was born.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So the hustle begins.
that's it. Yeah, and it never stopped. And then from college, I went and I got a job in the financial sector, and then I realized how much I fucking hated that. Um, and I just started selling weed there as well. And then that was in like the early 2000s, I want to say. Got a dispensary, opened a dispensary, opened another dispensary, opened another dispensary. Got raided, got arrested, blah 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 blah. Was on probation, had a fucking crazy amount of genetics over the years of just collecting seeds and collecting genetics and saving shit. Was on probation and started selling seeds through some friends of mine. I would go to like High Times and sell seeds for them and blah blah blah. And one day we went to a High Times on Father's Day in San Francisco, and we made no money because it was Father's Day. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna open a seed bank, dude. This is bullshit. And they were like, there's no way. Seed banks are in Europe. You'll never make any money. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. And but I was like, I can't sell weed right now because I'm on probation, but I could, fucking sell billions of seeds and not get caught. And I owned a smoke shop at the time, so that's where I was working. My trap thing was I was owned a smoke shop. And so I built a website in the back of the smoke shop thinking that it would get shut down in like fucking 3 days, 4 days, like whatever. If I can make a couple grand or a couple hundred just for the fun of it, that would be cool. And that's where it started, and it just never stopped. So
That's really cool. Were you, when
yeah,
you were, like you were saying earlier, oops, I lost JR for a second. Let me fix our screen.
yeah,
So earlier you were saying that you were like you were collecting genetics and stuff like that. One of the other things I was going to ask you is, were you collecting things at the time and holding on to them? Because one of the things
yeah.
that's been interesting to me, I'm kind of newer to the scene, only in the last 5 years or so, but there's so many strains that have come and gone through the passage of time. What's your kind of experience through that? Were you holding on to stuff and you knew, like other people were probably letting stuff go and you knew, no, man, I need to hold on to this?
Yeah, no, we have a crazy vault. We would collect bag seed from, things that we liked. We would buy shit from Amsterdam all the time. Attitude Seed Bank. I was a huge customer of Attitude for years. We would just constantly buying things because it was like weird, right? Because there was like this weird time that we would like all these strains were always out, like Super Silver Haze, all like I remember loving Super Silver Haze, Roadkill Skunk, like all these old school strains back in the day when dispensaries were first allowed in LA. You would find all of these dope strains, really unique terp profiles, really unique highs, blah blah blah, and then overnight all of them were gone when
Yeah.
OG Kush hit the
Yeah.
market. You're getting fucking $6,400 a pound. Fuck everything else. Nobody
Yeah.
wanted anything else. It was just mathematics, right? Simple math, right? If I can get 3,400 for Super Silver Haze or $6,000 for OG, kill every Super Silver Haze plant we have, replace with OG. So I knew even then it was important to preserve some of this shit because it was like, oh, you're not going to see any of these good strains moving forward. I mean, I remember our dispensary in LA, dude, we had like 30 different OG types and nothing else at one point, and that's all anybody wanted. You couldn't give away other shit. So it was crazy.
Speaking to that, I mean, I always ask this of breeders and of folks over time. Do you still see? I mean, we just kind of went through this whole runts thing.
Yeah.
And now that everyone's kind of popping up off East Coast, we got the South coming online. Do you still see there being the ones, especially with so much renaming going on?
Well, so it's interesting, right? Because Neptune isn't the only thing I do. I'm saying we do a lot of things, obviously. But what I notice is the taste making starts on the West Coast and then it slowly goes east. So yeah, like Runs was really popular for years. Lemon cherry gelato now is just still crazy. But I'm seeing now purple gas seems to be the most important thing you could find. So OGs are actually coming back in a huge way.
Yeah.
But people are they're hunting now because like the market has spoken. Green bud, for whatever reason, no one seems to like, which is odd to me. But okay, everyone wants purple. I guess it's probably 'cause it's really Instagrammable. I don't know, I guess. Yeah, so purple weed but gas, because like the exotics and the candies, they were cool, but like they're not for me. Honestly, I'll be honest. But again, I'm from LA, so I only like I was, you know what I mean. So it's just one of those weird things.
I mean, I
grew
love.
up.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Q. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I personally love the tastier strains. I love them, but especially when your tolerance gets up, you can like smoke a whole joint and you might be high while you smoke the joint, but then by the end of it or a little bit afterwards, you're not really feeling it anymore. So I can see why people might want some of the gassier stuff.
Well, also, it's like, I mean, I like the exotics and stuff like that too. They have interesting flavors and they're kind of fun to smoke, but it's just, something about the gas that just kind of always draws me back. But again, I think a lot of that's because of Southern California. I really feel like a lot, like I know in Washington, Blue Dream still crushes it. Like in terms of our analytics on the website, we sell more Blue Dream in the state of Washington than anywhere else in the world, and we sell tons of fucking Blue Dream.
That's
seeds.
interesting.
Tons of it.
Are those like home growers? Or are they growing at scale?
Both. We deal with a lot. We deal with a lot of both. We're lucky. So if you're doing, a medical grow or a legal grow, or whatever state allows you to do. We deal with a lot of guys that have, either one light or like 1,000 lights. Like we kind of deal with everybody, which is nice.
Yeah.
Which has been nice for us, actually, because.
And kind of speaking on that older strains and some of the varieties, I mean, honestly, what are some of the oldest seeds that you're still able to crack and that you still find viable as far as like a year window?
Oh, you know what? Honestly, dude, like we crack seeds like 10, 15 years ago, no problems. How you keep them? It's like if you keep them correct, they'll stay forever. Like all of our seeds have been in the freezer forever. You know what I mean? We find like my freezer is full of seeds, that we have, and it's like we take them out and they're all pretty good. If you do it right, like there's a million ways to pop seeds. So if you do it right, it's cool. And again, like what's nice is I got a good house that has sun all day long. So we're growing weed all year long. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
It's nice. Yeah, it's really, really nice. We have good.
So as far as your seed storage, for people who have those packs and they want to maybe someday put them in their vault for their breeder, I'm not speaking for myself, but I am. So I'm keeping those in the freezer. And so am I worried about that freezer doing its defrost cycles? You know how some of them have the auto defrost?
I mean, I don't know enough about any of that, but I mean, I've kept them in my freezers forever and they've been fine. I know a lot of people put them in their fridge too and never really have any problems. That's what my buddy Mike always says. Like, oh, I keep my shit in the fridge because he's always worried about that. He's like, what happens if the freezer breaks and it defrosts and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know, man. My freezer, I don't.
My freezer don't break.
Yeah, like, buy another one. But he does that, and it's actually, I'm glad you bring that up because a lot of times people ask us that, and when you get seed smells, we put them in black Mylar bags, and we do that for a reason. Because if you keep them in the refrigerator, you keep them in the freezer, you keep them in a drawer or whatever, keep them in that black Mylar bag so that light doesn't degrade them. You know what I mean? Because I know that a lot of times you'll get a lot of problems with that.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
What's up, everyone? It's Q Grows. I'm just jumping in real quick to give a shout out to one of our main sponsors, Lost Coast Plant Therapy. They've come in and supported the show, and we're hugely thankful for that. And also, it's just a great product. Here it is right here. It's a foliar spray, or you can even use it as a soil drench if you want. And it's going to help you fight things like powdery mildew, botrytis, bugs like aphids, all that kind of stuff, thrips, lights, all these sorts of things. Check it out, lostcoastplanttherapy.com. They just got clean green certified. It's organic. Check it out. It's a great spray. And thank you to Lost Coast for their support. Let's go back to the interview. So I would love to, I have a couple questions about kind of like the seed landscape, if you will, the industry. First up is was going to be about just kind of how the industry's changed over the last few years or so. I guess most notably for us, or at least what we've noticed, is since the Farm Bill passed, that seems to have possibly made it a little bit easier for people to be in the seed game or whatever. But curious what's your thoughts on kind of the industry and where we're at today?
Well, the industry is definitely tightening up. For sure. It was, a lot of people getting a lot of COVID money back in the day. And so they're spending a lot of money on seeds and things. And everybody was just going to grow weed and sell it because we all thought we were going to be locked in forever. But with free money not being there, it definitely contracted the industry a lot. What we noticed is with this contraction, a lot of people that were not meant to be breeders are now exiting, which is good. Same. You're seeing a lot of seed banks fold, and it's like a lot of people went in for the money grab, and they got paid or whatever. They didn't, a lot of people failed, and a lot of that's the industry's own fault, I would say, because a lot of breeders, quote unquote breeders, aren't really breeders. It's like, how many lemon cherry gelato crosses, how many runts crosses, how many sherb crosses can we expect the market to bear? If everyone's got the exact same runt cross and they're all reversing on the exact same gelato cross, people aren't going to buy those. So a lot of those guys are now exiting the industry, which is, I am cool. That's cool. Because they're moving on to other things, and you're finding the true breeders are staying. And that's what I like. I like that. I like guys that find something unique and they just keep working it. A good example of that, honestly, Pacific Northwest Roots. Kaya, fucking amazing breeder, works his lines, doesn't get too caught up in hype. If he finds something that he likes that fits his profile, his taste, his palate, he'll work with that. So he'll find something, he'll move that. Like, I still, to this day, his coffee is probably one of my top 5 favorite strains.
I have some fire shit. I have his coffee crossed with OG Kush, and we called it the Folgers. And some of them would make these little golf ball size, just frost nuggets that were like walking into a donut shop. It smelled just like walking into a donut.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the kind of things that get me excited. Like, I like to go into places and see things like that, hear about stories like that. Like, I don't care about, your 4,000 wedding cake crosses. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, it's cool. And if it sells and it makes you guys money and it makes us some money, great. But like, I'm interested in breeders that are kind of carving their own path and working their lines. So I think the landscape now is changing into that.
What do you think about a lot of breeders now just setting up shop on their own websites and just basically slinging their own gear now?
Good luck. The problem with that, we saw this come and I didn't worry about it, and I'm still never going to worry about it, because at the end of the day, so here's some funny statistics. There's 7 billion people in this world. There's 3 billion websites. So for every 2 people, there's a website. So set up shop. No one's going to go to it. We've seen them. And if they do, that's great. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to be disparaging by any means. Like, don't, please take that the wrong way. If you can, go ahead. But what we've noticed is this. There's a reason for seed banks. People have all been like, oh, fuck the middleman. We don't want the seed banks, blah, blah, blah. We're going direct. Okay, cool. Here's a few problems. One, you're not going to get any traffic. The seed banks do the marketing. We do everything. We get the traffic. Also, you want to, people. So you want to be in a seed bank so that people can see your gear. You know what I'm saying? That, they want to see your gear. They want to see the deals you're doing. If you have a big Instagram following, congratulations. Maybe you'll get a couple sales a month, but then the other problem you have is that you're not getting that many sales a month. So when you do get the sales, you're slow to get the product out because you're doing other things. It's not your main thing. You know what I'm saying? Like your main thing is not that. You're working this, and now you're getting customer service problems. So now people are pissed. Like, oh, what the fuck? You didn't get my things out because you're going against us. You order today, it's in this post tomorrow. You know?
Right. And I can only speak to that myself because I do sell some clones on the side. And I thought about jumping into that as a 9 to 5. And let me tell you, bro, there's so many facets to it that it's like insane, you know? And so like for guys out there who think they can just wing it on their own, like you said, I think they're mistaken. And the value of the seed bank is its collectiveness as a whole. Because when I go on there, I'm looking at a lot of different breeders.
Right.
A lot of different people bring me there to look at different shit. I'm not going there just to look at one dude's shit. You know what I mean?
Right. And the other thing that I've also noticed is that if you are a big time breeder and you want to do it yourself, the money that you're saving by not going through a seed bank, you're actually spending because now you have to build an infrastructure. You have to hire people. You have to hire a web developer. You have to hire full-time employees. You have to hire somebody to drive around and ship all day. So is the juice worth the squeeze? I don't know. Some people say yes. Some people say no. But that's why most businesses, it's like real corporate speak to be like, oh, everything's gonna be all in-house and it's all gonna be done, blah blah blah. No, you need to outsource a lot of shit in business. This is what I've learned. You need to outsource things to people that are pros at it. And if you're a breeder and you're a creator and you want to create and you want to breed and you want to make cool strains and grow cool weed and sell, you know what I mean, then great, sell it on your own. But I'll tell you what, you also need to have a seed bank. Look at Raw. Raw sells his seeds on his own. He also sells through us. He gets as many sales, as us. We work well together. I don't care that he does. He's a big enough breeder, but he tells me all the time it's rough. It's a full-time job that he's taken on.
Yeah.
So if breeders want to do it, I have no problems with it. I have absolutely no problem with it. If they start undercutting me and start offering crazy deals and it's like, do all this, then I'm just like, well, go off on your own, do your own thing. Don't, like I'm not trying to get screwed over and then I'm the bad guy and customers are yelling at me and things like that. So as long as people keep the deals the same and everything the same and the promos the same, then best of luck. But I mean, we are honestly seeing a lot of these guys that went off and were like, I don't want to deal with seed banks anymore, shutting their websites because the juice is just not worth the squeeze. Too much of a headache. They don't want to deal with it. They'd just rather go through us or other seed banks or, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I definitely, suggest that people focus on what you're good at. You know what I mean? Like you and do what you enjoy. Like I personally, I fucking hate logistics and shipping out stuff. And our community probably knows that because I've got some seeds and stuff like that I still need to ship out. And it's just because it's like, it's like some effort and time and weird steps that you have to do and blah, blah, blah. But some questions I had for you, as the seed bank owner, if you will, or I was going to ask you kind of about your taste making skills. How much of your kind of taste making, or if I should say like your palate or just like your judgment, how much of that do you need to employ? Is that like a really important skill? How much of it are you telling growers like the ones that you work with, maybe, are you telling them like, I think this is going off on the wrong direction or the right direction? I was kind of curious about, over the years, I imagine you're developing this palette and also a knowledge of what works and what might not work. And also like in the locations that these various flavors and looks work. So I was kind of curious about how much of that knowledge do you find yourself kind of sharing with your breeders that you work with?
Well, breeders, they do their own thing. A lot of them ask me what's hot, what's not. I'll just tell them, but and I always take this with a grain of salt. For example, right now, lemon cherry gelato, last year selling really well. Is it selling well now? No. So, you have to plan things, a year in advance. Who's amazing at planning things a year in advance? Umami Seedco. Absolutely amazing at planning things a year in advance. But again, He's a true breeder. He works his own lines. He says, I like these 4 things. What do you think? I say that's a great idea, and he'll run the lines that way. So when breeders ask me what's hot, I'll tell them what's hot, but I always say it's hot now. It doesn't mean it's going to be hot a year from now. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how it is. Like, again, with breeders, I always tell them like whatever they like. Again,
Yeah.
people ask me, well, like I like gas. Like, so don't, like I know a lot about a lot of strains. I know a lot about a lot of lineage of strains. I know how well strains grow in certain conditions. For example, everybody wanted to grow runts outdoor in Oklahoma, and it was like, that's not a good idea. Turns out brown, if you're going to be running it outside, just because the way it is. So don't grow outdoor runts,
Totally.
Some listened, some didn't. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's always up to them. I never tell anybody to take my advice as the absolute word of God or anything like that. But I just can only tell people from my experiences or from what other farms I work with or what other big companies that I work with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the things that you have a reputation for is kind of giving guys a shot. You know what I mean? I know certain seed banks will say, oh, I'm not accepting any breeders who haven't been breeding for this many years or whatever that bullshit is. So what are some of the criterias you have with breeders, and what are you looking for in a breeder?
Well, we're looking for somebody who's a solid breeder. I'm not really looking for people anymore. We used to just give everybody a shot. You know what I mean? If your dream is to sell seeds, we're happy to do that, and we still do sometimes. If you're a guy who's cool or a girl who's cool and you're respectful and you're nice and you're willing to kind of to do a lot of work, we'll definitely work with you. But now, just because the market is so tight, I'm very just upfront with people. Like, look, they hit me. Oh, I have this. Right now, people only want to buy feminized seeds. So I'll ask them, are they fem? Did you make fems? No. Okay, well, honestly, what you have if they're regs are freebies because people just do not buy reg seeds anymore, unfortunately. So, most people
kills me.
Kills me too, bro. It kills me too, but
how much is that? Are you like? I want to push you on that. Is that like legit? Like people are just not buying regs anymore?
Legit,
it's like hard to believe that you're like not being hyperbolic.
As legit can be.
Yeah.
And people now they want smaller packs of seeds.
Really?
It's like now on FEMs it's 3s and 6 packs.
Really?
That's it. 3s and 6s. No one wants to buy 10 packs anymore. No one wants to spend $150 on seeds. They want to spend 80 to 100.
What is that? Yeah, what is the magic number? Is it like 50, 60, 70? What do you feel like?
It's like 60 to 120 is kind of the sweet spot for people willing to buy. And again, the economy's tough, right? Like, it's funny because people always say like, oh, cannabis is a recession proof. I've been selling weed for 30 years, bro. It's the first fucking thing that goes out in a recession.
Right?
Like this is like my third recession. They start
pinching them pennies. They start buying in $30 ounces and shit.
Bro, like cannabis is the first thing that goes away. So people they don't want to buy seeds anymore. A lot of people would rather just buy the clone. Now, like a lot of growers are just flipping clones, which is okay. It's not pushing the industry forward because you still need those hunters that are finding the newest, greatest, latest thing. But a lot of people are not willing to spend the time to hunt anymore. And so if they are, they don't want to put a lot of money toward it.
So go ahead, Q.
It's really interesting. I really appreciate you sharing some of this detail. It's really interesting.
Cool.
Because so much of our community at CannaBuzz, we grew to over 150,000 people, and a lot of that was home growers, right?
Yeah.
And so it sounds like to me from what you're saying that a lot of your customers are more and more home growers. I imagine if they're only buying a few seeds at a time, they want fems. That's super. Is this really just shifted since the pandemic, or probably just since these more and more states are becoming legal, obviously?
Well, so the home grower is definitely our biggest brand. I mean, but then again, it's like, so like the big guys that own like, 200-300 lights, you know what I'm saying? They'll call me directly and we'll make certain deals,
Sure.
direct, but So they already kind of know what they want, or they know what they're looking for. Or they need a new purple, or they need a new gas, or so they'll ask me about that, and I'll sort them out. But yeah, so how the business worked forever was this: is you would get the home growers who would do and it still does. The home growers do the hunting. They find something amazing, right? Then they generally will the original breeder will then get that cut from that that grower that.
That's
Right?
JR basically is what you're
That
describing.
JR knows the game, baby.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a great example, honestly, is Sea Junkie. He got all of it. A lot of his like cuts came back through a lot of a lot of his testers. Like what's is it the Cushmans that like came from someone else? I don't know, like somebody from Michigan or some shit. I know there's like some drama about that, but there's always drama around something.
Sure.
But so they'll get the cut back, and they'll start working the line that way, and then release seeds that way, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do things like that. But yeah, like right now, I know just a lot of people just only want femmes. They don't want to waste the time. They don't want to waste the electricity. They don't want to waste the nutrients on hunting males that they're just going to kill.
That makes sense.
Unfortunately, again, it's just one of those things. Like because again, people have 4x4. I got a 4x4 area. I'm growing in this thing.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I can speak to that a lot because if I've got a 12-pack or even a 10-pack and they're all femmes and I'm not experienced, say, and I go and crack them all, then all of a sudden I've got 10 females that I got to either try to back up or hope I don't lose. And so that can be problematic. So now with more home growers coming online, are you seeing people maybe more willing to do longer than 8-week strains and maybe start breaking into some of those more longer week sativas and stuff or hybrids like that?
Yeah, and they should. I mean, they should like this 8-week thing is it's funny that it's like this, like it kind of became this standard eight and done,
totally.
8 and done. It's like
right, I hated
like
that.
A lot of people be like, oh, fucking Blue Dream sucks, bro. When I pull it, on week 8, it's garbage. It's like, well, one, like you should probably take that to week 10 and it'll be like infinitely fucking better. You know what I mean? Like you'll get that good flavor profile. It'll put on a whole bunch more weight. You know what I mean? But like for some reason, this 8-week thing has been ingrained in us, and I don't, it's like it's not the law. But yeah, you are seeing a lot of that where guys are kind of starting to like let the plant tell us when it's done, as it should, because it's nature. You know what I mean? And none of this is GMO, so you really can't control a lot of it. So yeah, guys who are paying attention, home growers, let the plant tell you when it's done. Get a microscope. You invested all this money on all this other shit. Invest $10 on Amazon. Get a microscope. It's one of the best investments you'll ever make. Trust me. I promise you. You'll be super happy. And I love home growers.
I think speaking to that note, Mark, is that at the end of the day, we're all trichome farmers.
Exactly.
Right. We want the plant to be healthy and happy, but at the end of the day, we're farming trichomes, right?
Yeah, exactly, dude. So, so pay attention to that, guys. It's really important that you do that. And the homegrown scene is great, and I love it because the homegrown scene, unfortunately, most states rollout for legal cannabis are just one clusterfuck after the other.
Yeah.
So homegrown cannabis is like, it's great because people are actually like, the community is a whole lot larger than anyone really well, I'm sure you guys understand it because you guys created, you're part of you're big into the community, but it's like the home growers still, you know what I mean? Like without the home growers, there would not be Jungle Boys. You know what I mean? A lot of guys, where he came from, his old handle, I'm not going to say it because it's not my place to say it, but like huge on the forums back in the day. Cap, huge on the forums back in the day. So the home grower community is where all these guys came from. And, I guarantee you the next superstar is probably got to roll it up, you know what I mean? Or everyone does it, account handle, you know what I'm saying? Like, guaranteed. We all came from that, and it's great. Like you still find a lot of good information on YouTube. You can still find a lot of good information online, but the forums, man, is still just a plethora of good, solid fucking info, and it's not going anywhere. So you guys, if you're not on them, guys, get on the forums.
I'll say shout out to Future 4200 if you want to know anything about hash or extractions or any form of it. The Future 4200 forum is really good.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so now, what are you've got a good group of breeders. Can you? There's one that I'm kind of interested in having you talk about, and that's Dying Breed Seeds. Can you talk about them a bit?
Dying Breed, yeah, man. Brandon, he's the man. He's the man. Sure, you guys all saw his little scuffle that he got into the other day.
No,
you didn't see that? Oh yeah, he got in a fight with one of the other creators of Dying Breed. It's like all kinds of funny drama, but he's good, man. They breed for hash, like straight up. They breed for hash. He'll tell you that immediately. I only breed for hash, and his stuff is great. Like it's great, and another reason I love him is he walks the walk, he talks the talk, he grows his own strains, he makes his own hash. And I know this because he brings it to me. I see him in LA a couple of times a month. You know what I mean? He always has a little bit of rosin, or what I'm saying, for us, of this new shit or what's hot. Just absolutely kills it. Absolutely. I mean, they're the most, to this day, still the most awarded company out of Emerald Cup. And the Emerald Cup now isn't what it used to be, but the Emerald Cup back in the day was a fucking, if you were somebody at the Emerald Cup, you were the man, And nobody won more awards than them. Nobody has. And they're
well, while we're on that topic, and I'm sure as a seed vendor and a seed bank holder, you've seen this whole rosin thing just explode. I mean, I remember watching Hash Church, I don't know how many years, it was probably pre-COVID.
Dude.
Right, and they're saying, get your lady straightening iron, man. And then now look what it is today. And so how do you see that direction of breeders responding to that kind of momentum behind the rosin scene?
That's where it's going. It's going to go like pens, rosin. This is where the whole industry in a whole is going. It's like I've got nieces and nephews, 17, 18 years old, have no fucking clue how to roll a joint. No clue. They don't know how to pack a bowl. They don't know anything about it. They have the little pan. Little dad. This is what they know. So as it moves towards it, but again, a lot of these more immature markets are not there yet. Like we have a farm in Oklahoma, you know what I mean? That we're doing clones on in rosin, but rosin it's fantastic. People there want flour, so it's different markets. It's definitely different markets, but the more mature the market gets, it definitely goes more towards hash. And as it should. Hash is bomb. You know what I mean? Like I love hash. Like it's fucking great. Dude.
Oh
like,
yeah, when you get the tasty stuff, it's like
dude,
holy
fire.
Shit.
Yeah, man. It's like I love hash.
So
and I think it's interesting. We had Mushmouth on, and he was at Ego Clash, and just some of the way that those guys break down, how they do things and select the terpenes at a weak profile rather than just letting it mature and running it. I think that's super interesting how that goes down.
It's crazy how they do that. It's real. It's real scientific, and like they get into it, man. And like, good for them. Better than me, because I'm like, I don't know, it gets me high, so I like it, I'm just an end consumer,
Well, I just like that it made, for us here in Oregon, back in the day when we were blasting, they made that a Class B unexpungible felony.
Oh, yeah.
So now we can squish and make as much hash as we want, and we don't got to worry about that kind of fucking bullshit, And it's pushing the industry in a way that it's allowing folks to still get paid at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. And it's nice.
So, go ahead. Speak to that.
Oh no, I was just it's nice that people aren't blowing themselves up. Like I've been doing this. I saw friends. I was in the beginning of the BHO craze. Dude, bro, people were setting fucking houses on fire left and right because they didn't know that gas was heavier than air. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was last year a house in San Francisco that blew up because a guy was doing BHO. Yeah, and he killed his next door neighbor. And I was like, are you legit? I was actually BHO. I thought it was bullshit when I saw the headline because I figured it was like no one was doing that shit anymore.
Yeah, like was it 2008 still? Or
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, BHO, it ain't going nowhere. I mean,
I'll tell you why. You know why?
Because the numbers
It's
on it.
Stronger.
Well, then I mean the numbers on it. You can't. You know, just the returns on it are. It's again mathematically. If you want to make money, the money is definitely in BHO. You can kill it. You know, but would I prefer BHO over rosin? No, definitely not. You know, obviously rosin's much better.
Yeah.
So,
so JRD, I was going to throw in another question, and we're coming up on the last like quarter of our interview here. But one of the things I would love to get your thoughts on when I get to hear someone like you talk is just get you expand a little bit more on where you think the current kind of market is headed in terms of like tastes and things like that, because you know we're recording now at the end of 2023, so obviously our outdoor harvest is going to come down. We'll get to see what all those different tastes are. I'm in California as well, and we'll be going to the Emerald Cup next year, so we'll get to see what those tastes are like and stuff like that. But anyways, curious what your thoughts are on where do you see the market headed? And we talked about lemon cherry gelato. Is that going to still rule the day, or are you seeing new kind of things start to develop?
No, the cannabis industry is like a giant ship. You know, it takes a real long time to change course. I think you're still going to see the exotic candies reign supreme because. And I think it's just pure economics as it is right now. Most of the weed that heads east comes from California, and most of the taste making is done in California. No offense to anybody outside of California. I know there's great strains coming out of Colorado and Canada and all these places. I don't mean any disrespect. Please don't take it as way. But a lot, you know, just California's a lot of land. It's got growers have been growing for generations who know how to run multi-hundred light farms, who know how to run multi-acre farms very easily. And a lot of the shit heads back east just because of the way California is and the tax system and the whole fucking nightmare that is to try to do cannabis in California. You know, let's just say like 90% of all legal cannabis gets backdoored. Let's, you know, like right out the back.
Yeah, right.
And so, so at the end of the day, the consumer that you're trying to keep happy is not the California consumer. It's not the Oregon consumer. It's not the medical consumer. It's not the legal consumer. It's the trap consumer that lives in Arkansas, that lives in Chicago, that lives in, you know, Indianapolis or any of these other major hubs. So I think that you're going to see the exotic candy reign supreme for the next few years. Where will the taste change? Absolutely. I think it's going to come as it always is from the home growers who are then going to get the good cut to the breeder who's then going to get it to a broker like myself or someone like JR who's then going to slowly start introducing it to the big farms. And but that takes years, you know. I mean, I know right now, like for example, Umami, a lot of his gear is going into a lot of different places. That is going to, you know, be bigger and bigger, but you know, that's, you know, say his gear right now is in probably 2,000 lights. So let's say that's 6,000 pounds 3 times a year. That's not that many pounds, you know, for the whole entire U.S. market, realistically, and the legal markets. So will it change? Yes. Is it going to change anytime soon? To my humble thing, probably not. You know, but you're also going to see a lot of like of the hash gods, you know, pushing a lot of the more flavorful stuff, like Harry Palms always coming out with fire ass new hash strains. You know, Brandon from Dying Breed always coming out with fire ass new hash strains, or revisiting his old ones. He just did another Peach Oz, dude. That, oh my god, dude, so good. You know, he just rehunted his Peach Oz, so fucking good, so good. So I just don't think that it's going to change anytime soon, personally, unfortunately.
And so now we've all been kind of winding in this slow death over the last, I would say, 5 years. And you've really kind of spoke a lot to some of the folks that were in it for the wrong reasons, maybe who are not around anymore. And so some of the true people who have love for the plant are still holding steady.
Yep.
So can you kind of give some maybe some insightful hope for those folks?
Yeah, man, work your lines. If you create something cool that you like, work your lines. Stay true to yourself, man. Like, stay true to your taste. Let your friends have it. Let it build an organic following. You know, like, it's that old saying, overnight success takes 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, like, throwing Kai out there still works the same lines, makes it better. I like this. I like to, dude, JJ from Top Dog Seeds. He's been working sour and gas for fucking 30 years. Does not give a shit about runs. Could give two fucks about runs.
Right.
Do not care. But has worked it so much, he can taste the difference in his own strains. This one's a little more chocolatey. This one's got a tiny, you know, and it's wild, you know, to see this man, but does not care. Still sells his seeds. Still gets absolute top dollar for him because he's true to himself. He's true to his beliefs. You know, Karma smashes. You know, because he stayed true to what he likes. You know, so if you want to breed and you want to be a breeder and this is your passion, dude, get into it. Absolutely. But don't try to do it for the money up front. The money will come, you know, the money will come. Like, do it for the passion.
That's huge advice. Because when we first met, you came up to Oregon. We were doing a fundraiser for a little boy who was having cancer. And you came up and you showed up and you were there for that whole event. And I know it wasn't cheap for you, and I know you were just starting out. And so that grind, I mean, where you're sitting today is a testament to that grind, you know. And I think people sometimes don't look for the long game, you know. They go for that quick grab or that little bit of moment. And I'll speak to the Paloma just in myself. Brad gave me those seeds as a tester like fucking 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah,
at least 3 years ago. And so where it's become now has taken all that time and all that momentum. And you kind of spoke to that earlier about, you know, people needing to stay the course. And that's kind of what I'm kind of getting at is, you know, here at CannaBuzz, we're pushing for home growers because we feel like they're going to save the plant at the end of the day. And we feel like small licenses and boutique licenses are going to put quality back on the shelves. And so I think that I think one of the cool things might be for breeders to start making those avenues to where they're breeding a certain amount of seeds. Of those seeds, they're hunting a certain amount, finding the great cuts, releasing those on the cut market, selling a certain amount of seeds, then taking their winners and getting those onto the shelf as their product. Do you see that being a reality for folks?
Oh yeah, no, we're actually working. We did something like that with Super Seedco. Actually, we did a drop with him. He got the seeds, hunted them, found a fantastic cut, went out, grew the cut. We then sold the seeds along with. And we sent out a couple grams of weed with every pack of seeds. So you knew exactly what you were getting. You know what I mean? This is what you're getting. This is what it should look like. Try it, smoke it. Do you like it? You know what I'm saying? If you like it, and this is fire, grow the fucking seeds. This is what you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're seeing that. You're absolutely, we've already kind of like talked to a lot of breeders about that. Let's drop the clones on King Kong clone. The same day we drop the seeds on Neptune, and the same day that we can, you know, that the flower hits the market. You know, so it's like a three-way push. You know, so
well, let's
go
ahead and talk about King Kong clones a bit. Tell us what the kind of like the idea of King Kong clones and what it offers to folks who might want to participate and join.
Right. So King Kong we created a couple years ago because we had a farm in California and it was like basically a nursery and we had everyone's cuts and we were selling them directly via King Kong clone. But we had to shut the farm down. My mom got cancer, so we couldn't run a farm. It was too much.
Sorry about that, bro.
Oh, it's cool. Thank you. So what we did, what we saw this big platform. So what we turned it into was basically a multi-site, a multi-vendor site. So anybody who has cuts can go on there, sign up for an account. Now you're a vendor on this website, and you can market and list your own cuts for sale. And so people can literally buy the cuts from you directly, and you can ship them off via our platform. And again, it just comes down to a thing where it's a website that has a big market share, that has a lot of hits on it, that when you type in clones, it pops up. All right. So we've done all the SEO work, the search engine optimization. And so it's like, put your stuff on there, give it a shot, see if you can sell a lot of clones. We have guys on there making thousands of dollars a week. It's crazy, man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They're just killing it. They're fucking murdering it, dude. And it's like, and then we have breeders on there. Blockhead just listed his Blockberry on there. The Super Booth, Umami sells a good amount of clones on there. Super Seedco sells good clones on there. We sell clones out of our Oklahoma nursery on there. And then we have people just kind of selling a mishmash or whatever. So if you have clones for sale, check it out. It's easy to sign up. People are killing it on it,
And I would say, just to my community and the folks out there who are listening, do a little homework on who you buying your seeds from. Find out, what their processes are to getting those, and make sure that they're good batch tested, clean cut, and maybe you can speak to that, to where the level of some of your vendors are maybe doing steps like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of good vendors. A lot of them, obviously, if you want, you can sell whatever you want on there. We warranty nothing. If someone's selling dirty cuts, and you're allowed to leave reviews. So if this cut came back dirty, leave the review. This guy sells dirty cuts. I have no control over that. And obviously, the guys who do the job get their cuts tested. It's clean. Here's a current test.
Yeah.
They sell infinite more cuts and slips than anyone else, because for years we all passed around dirty cuts. No one knew what HLV did. No one knew what any of this shit was.
Yeah.
So no one did it intentionally. No one tried to fuck each other over intentionally by any means. But now we know. You know what I'm saying? And the cost of the testing has gone down to a more manageable price, where back in the day it was really expensive and it was really high, and then people, I can't do it for that reason. Well, now it's not that much. You know what I'm saying? And again, comes down to, if you want to make a living at this, you want to do it for the love of the plant, you want to do it for the love of the dollar, whatever you're getting into it for, do your job, do it correctly. Get your plants tested, sell clean cuts, sell clean seeds, because that stuff will transfer into the seeds. So, do your due diligence, do your job, and people will be happier with you. Just comes down to that, like the old adage, do good business. You know what I mean? And good business will that's, that's the one thing I've learned doing this for 30 years. That's what I've learned. If you do good business, you can hold your head up high in the cannabis industry. If you do bad business, go fucking sell houses, or go, because you won't survive. You can only survive on your name. That's all you have.
And in this community, as a whole, word travels pretty fast. As fragmented as much of our community is, word as a whole gets around. The douchebags get known.
Look at that lady. Who was that lady? The Dabin Granny or something? She did something.
Yeah.
She flew overnight, gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was throwing out some just hateful shit, right?
Racist shit. Yeah, dude.
And just like whoosh.
Gone.
Yeah.
We don't do that shit. What I mean?
Oh, and Dave, why I got you on there? Can you kind of speak about maybe some of the female breeders, like Love in Her Eyes and
dude,
like
she's the best. Oh my God.
Is she not?
Oh, she's the fucking. Listen, every time I go to Colorado, whether it's for a show or just to Colorado to visit friends or whatever, bro, they always have a care package for me, dude. Like when we did the last show with Tiki, and we all went out there, you know what I'm saying? Dude, not only did they have for us, they gave us hash, they gave weed and the seeds all together for us to sell to the community. I cannot say enough about them. They have a drop coming up, by the way, everybody. Get it.
Yeah.
If anyone I could say does their job beyond thoroughly, it is them.
Yeah, her
Is
attention to detail is
fucking
off the charts. Not
crazy.
just from the seed, but everything from the seed to the air. I mean, the
Dude,
packaging, everything. It's
everything, dude.
unbelievable.
Top notch. She is, and we have another good breeder coming on. She's been kind of slow to come on. Her name, she goes under Jane California. Super good girl. Been growing at a very high level for a long time. A LA girl, runs multiple 50 light operations. Like just fucking crushes it. Like, again, I think women in this business, their attention to detail is great.
Yeah.
I've grown a lot of weed. I've ran a lot of warehouses, and I'll tell you something: the girls who work in the warehouses always produce the best weed. They follow the regiment. They follow. There's no. This is it.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's their ability to multitask.
Yeah,
guys are terrible at multitasking.
Yeah, dude. Oh my! But I've always said this. I think that females produce the best fucking weed. They do the job. They follow it. There's no deviation. Oh, maybe I'll add this. No.
It's a recipe, right?
There's too much ego on the guy's side.
Yeah, dude.
We had a guy. He put very strong male energy into his breathing. Like, legitimately, those were his words. He put his male energy into
that was hilarious, that interview. Well, we're coming up on the last few minutes, but this has been a really cool interview. I really appreciate you sharing everything. One of the analogies that came to mind while you were talking earlier was music. I think a lot of us in the cannabis scene listen or are into music or are musicians. And it just reminded me of, like, you don't start a band to make money. You start it because you're passionate about music.
Right.
Oh,
and then the way you build a band is you have to build a reputation and you build your following locally or however it's built. And it seems to me a kind of a similar analogy to being a breeder is you have to build your local following or your online following, however that works. And then eventually you'll build up this thing. The other interesting insight that kind of came to mind was that breeders need a good flower grower, right? Because, like, you need someone that can grow your seed into flower and then make that have its own following, right? Like, because that's what JR did with Cherry Paloma, right? It was great flower that was a great expression of that seed.
Absolutely. And we actually Umami cracked the code about testing. So for all you guys who are breeders who say, well, I don't like testers because I just send out the testers and they keep the strains and they never actually send us back anything useful, or they try to resell the strains, on the secondary market. He just gives codes like 1, 2, 3, 4, and like, you don't know what the 1, 2, 3, 4 strain is, the numbered code is, until he releases it through us. You have no idea what you're testing, so there is no name on it. There is nothing that you could resell, so his testers are the testers. And that's kind of like Tsunami Seeds does that now as well, kind of like they're friends. So they're doing that. And I think Raw is going to start that too, where it's coming in coded. So you're not able to just get these strains and then resell them because, people always want to be testers, but oddly enough, they don't do a lot of testing. So if you're a breeder and you're looking for testers, that's the way to do it. Send it out coded. So that way the people that you deal with, are true growers and are actually interested in growing your gear.
And be active in your community. I mean, I think one of the things that Brad does very well is he's active in his Discord. He's very active with his community. He's doing as many podcast type situations as he can. So he's developed relationships with people he can trust to test his shit and get back to him and give him real information. I got a grapefruit slushies of his that I've been running for. This is the 3rd or 4th run before I even felt like it was worthy to even send him a cut back. Right. So I mean, when you develop relationships with your community like that, it really pays dividends.
Yeah, and don't be afraid if something sucks. Don't be afraid to tell the breeder it sucks.
Yeah,
like a lot of they're relying on this information. And, it's like people are always so afraid to be like, oh, if I test and it's bad, I don't want to tell them, bro. That's the information they need to know.
Yeah,
nobody wants to release something because everyone just wants to be cool and be like, oh, this is really, really good, bro. and then you release it and then it's dog shit, you're going to ruin someone's, that's what the breeders or that's what the testers are there for. This sucks. Cool. I won't continue running it. I won't continue this. I won't go down this path. Oh, this is great. I mean, Brad, he's got, hundreds of strains that he's made over the years. He's never got a strain the rest of his life. But, a lot of those get shelved because, like you said, he's active in his community and the people trust him enough where it's like, this is not good. This isn't yielding what we want. We wanted this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. He's one of the most friendly, non-ego having people you'll ever meet. So it's easy to approach him and tell him, this sucks. Cool.
Yeah.
I won't fuck with it anymore. I'll run this instead. And so if you are a tester and you're finding things, the breeders would appreciate it more than you think if you're like, this is not that good, bro.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that because I don't want to buy a bunch of seeds that suck and then I'm sitting on them.
Yeah, you're sitting on them. Shit. Right.
So please.
So before I got always some final stuff, but one more topic I want to talk about is maybe some of the varieties that you think people are sleeping on right now.
I can tell you not varieties. I could tell you breeders.
All right.
That people are sleeping on because that just really, really good guys that I've watched. Because I'm kind of a creeper online. Like I'll watch a lot of stories. I'll like kind of see a lot of things online. I don't like to engage a lot on Instagram because my mouth gets me in a lot of trouble.
Me too.
Or I'll say something and be like, why the fuck did I say that? And then but there's a lot of breeders out there that do their jobs, and then there's a lot of breeders that do their jobs and they're kind of they sometimes step in some shit themselves. One that comes to mind. Fantastic breeder, fan-fucking-tastic breeder, very political, so he kind of alienates a lot of people, but second generation genetics, fantastic breeder, absolutely fantastic breeder. Does his job, just all of his stuff is absolute top-notch, interesting strains, really unique terp profiles, works his lines, things like that, dude. Guy crushes it, does a lot of good testing, fantastic photos. So he's a really, really slept on breeder. Another guy, Lupos Maniac out of Michigan. Great breeder. Great. Like we looked at a lot of his stuff, dude. Really, really good. Another breeder who's like mid-range, who a lot of people should be looking at a lot more. Obviously, I would say is Super Seedco. Guy created Seattle Soda. That's been a mainstay in the Washington game for a long time, dude. Crushes it.
Super nice guy too.
Super nice guy, dude. We actually go fishing every Thursday together. But that's got nothing to do with the fact that I'm plugging his stuff. It's just he's a good breeder and he works. He does a lot of good work. But yeah, if you guys ever want to go fishing with us every Thursday at a just let us know. We're always down. So Brad kills it, dude. Like a lot of people sleep on Brad shit, dude. Like a lot of people do, like on a lot of his strains, and they're fucking so good.
Yeah, the level of stuff that he puts out. I mean, I've smoked a lot of weed, a lot of really good weed in my lifetime, and two of his strains are in my top 5.
Dude, Seattle Chronic, that fucking guy puts out crazy good heat, dude. I can go on all day about some of these breeders, man. But then
the nice thing also I want to shout out while you're talking about Rab and Seattle Chronic Seeds is he's also pushing the envelope on other cannabinoids. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's pushing the envelope on breeding, not just for THC and for the market shelf. And people need to give him respect because that guy has put in some years and some blood, sweat, and tears.
Dude, another one, Sin City. Fucking Sin City.
Fire.
First of all, one of the world's nicest men you'll ever meet, ever. He is so he's amazing to work with. Dude, super fucking cool guy, dude. And a lot of people don't understand about him. If there was no Sin City, there would be no Seed Junkie. Seed Junkie was a tester for Sin City. A lot of his stuff is old, comes from Sin City shit. Dude, that guy, bro. Talk about a guy who, like you were saying earlier about the whole band thing, created something great, created a cult-like following, is now reaping the rewards of that. Marches to a beat of his own drum, doesn't, he peppers in a lot of or some of the more like crazy strains that people like want, like some runs here and there, lemon cherry gelato, but mostly it's his own shit. Like we just did the 10-year anniversary like about a month ago, 3 weeks, a month ago, whatever, the 10-year anniversary of Sin Mints, and it's like, fuck, I remember that,
that's crazy that that's that old.
Dude, and I remember buying those seeds,
Yeah.
as just a retail consumer. Dude, his stuff is fucking fantastic, and then there's like gosh, who else would I mean, am I thinking that I was just thinking about this? Um I just lost it. Who the fuck was it? There's another guy. Secret Society. He's really good. He came up. One of his best friends was Exotic Mike, so he really taught him how to breed, how to select, things like that, dude. Obviously, Soulfire. Lonnie is the man. Absolutely crushes it. Another
Talk about Lit a little bit. Talk about Lit Farms a little bit too, if you don't mind.
Oh, dude, I love that guy, dude. Ray, he's a madman. He's cool, dude. His story, he ran Tahoe Hydro for years. So again, did a lot of seed collecting, did a lot of hunting, spent a lot of money on getting all the clones. Like he was one of the guys that was buying $10,000 clones. Like who would buy a clone for 10 grand? He would. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew if he grew it under, he would get the top dollar for it, stuff like that.
Right.
So he has tons of genetics. Again, been around forever, so everyone loves him. Hell of a nice guy, and has from the Tahoe Hydro Day has just a lot of breeding space. So he's always running new shit, always running like pop and stuff. Has grown multiple cup winners. Like we're doing the bubble bath drop. People are like, oh, what's bubble bath? Like bubble bath has won like fucking 20 awards. You know what I'm saying? Because it's fire. So he's now getting into working more of his lines, because a lot of his lines have kind of hit these higher echelon, like things. So and then everyone, because he knows everybody wants to work with him. Like he does shit with Grandy Flora all the time. He's just on a different level, dude. Like he's hella cool, dude. Hella cool. He did something dope with cookies too. Like kind of like some funny shit with cookies that like I got to give him mad respect for. So he was one of the cookie was doing cookie growing or whatever, and in the contract he wrote that he gets access to all of their genetics, and they signed.
Oh yeah, nice.
Fucking retards. And he went in there and just took cuts of everything. So he's got all the cookie shit, dude. It's like it's dope, dude. Like I got mad respect for that guy. He's cool. And he's fun. He's so much fun. Like every time he comes down here, we have a ball together. So
well, that's great. I'm excited to have you on. I'm excited to have you as a sponsor, and I really look forward to having some of these dudes come on and tell their story. I mean, a lot of these guys, like you said, have been putting the grind in and the time in, and it'd be cool to get them on here and give them some time to shine.
We can get whoever you want, man. Just let me know. I'll come on whenever you want too. I love doing this show. I love podcasts. I think there's so much fun.
Yeah.
We're having a good time for sure.
Well, so JR's one of his favorite last questions is
Sure.
I'll
give JR the shit your pants question.
Yeah. So give me a shit your pants moment in your cannabis, good or bad, in your cannabis journey.
I'll give you. Okay, I got a good one. Again, me and my fucking stupid mouth. So I remember being in court and they're like reading off charges. And I was just like, oh, that's fucking funny. You guys only seem to give me enough charges to make these felonies, because you guys pull me with way more money and way more weed. So what the fuck happened to the rest of that? Like you guys are only like, I like 50 grand on me and like 70 pounds. But you guys are only saying like 6 pounds and like $9,000. So like, where'd the rest of that go? And like I pointed the cops like, oh, these guys, they whacked it all up, and I'm sure it's on the street somewhere. And they're
Yeah,
like,
right.
"You're a dumb motherfucker." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely a dumb motherfucker." It was a good shit your pants moment. Fucking me being an idiot, but basically calling out the Orange County sheriffs for their fucking corruption.
For
Did
the
they-
fuckery.
With weed, everybody stay away from Orange County. If you're moving loads, do not do it in Orange County. They do not care.
Did they knock up
No.
your charges higher because of that? Because you said that, or what happened?
No, felony was a felony. I mean, so this is how it went down. Like we got clipped. Obviously, I was guilty as fuck. They and they were like, essentially, after I went off and went through the pretrial and all this other shit, the guy was like, "Hey, man, I just want to tell you, like, the DA was like, you're gonna be found guilty, and I'll tell you why. Go to the top floor and then look at the jury pool. And when you do, you'll notice there's only old people from Orange County because they're the only ones that show up to jury. Said nothing else to do.
Right.
And in Orange County, if a cop says you're guilty, you're guilty. And if you're gonna make me run this fucking thing, I'm gonna ask for 10 years because you're gonna waste our time." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, they didn't whack up the charges, but the guy gave me some pretty good advice to just take the deal that was offered, leave the time, and be done with it.
Be done with it. Yeah.
And then it was cool. I mean, we got expunged over the years and shit like that. So, but yeah, man, they were going hard back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were. They were like taking people's kids and shit. It was not cool.
Bro,
it was not cool.
It was not cool.
yeah.
So,
That's why I don't think it's cool that one of those cops owns Glass House Farms or whatever it was, whatever the story is. But before we go off in too many tangents,
Sure.
really appreciate you hanging out with us today, man. Really appreciate connecting and hearing your stories. Are you involved too much in the event scene, or can people see you out in the world anywhere? But otherwise, just give us your shout outs. Like, where can people check you out?
So you can obviously check us out on NeptuneSeedbank.com. We do events here and there, not as many as we'd like to, just because of the all the different laws now. Back in the day, you just show up with seeds and sell them anywhere. So we don't do too many events anymore, but I'd like to. But NeptuneSeedbank.com, KingClones.com if you want to move clones. Check out our Telegram if you want some more spicy shit. The Telegram, it goes down on Telegram for sure. But you can kind of find us pretty much anywhere. We're always bopping around. That's for sure.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate your contribution to our community. And just big ups, bro. Big ups.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to like the video. Make sure to support Neptune Seedbank. Go on there, find some really great seeds to grow at home. Maybe grab a 3-pack of Fems, grow it in your 4x4, and grow some awesome weed this winter. You owe it to yourself. But thanks for hanging out with us today. Like I said, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and as always, JR, growers love.
Thanks, guys. Take care.